Okay, I would like to talk with you a little bit about models for addition and subtraction of integers. Three models that we've looked at in our class so far are colored counter diagrams, the number line model, and the third one we're going to look at is mail times stories. So this video is going to focus on the third, which is the mail times stories. Okay, so before we get started in looking at some examples, let me just talk to you briefly about the basics of mail time stories and the things that you're looking at. They're going to give you a problem. They'll give you a number plus or minus a second number, and they're going to ask you to write a mail time story that goes with that problem that they've given you. So the first number, whenever you're writing a mail time story, the first number corresponds to what the mailman brings, or mail carrier, or however you want to label the person. It's what the mailman brings. Okay, if the number is positive, he's bringing a check. If the number is negative, he's bringing a bill. Then you're going to have plus or minus in the middle. The plus or minus is going to tell you if he's bringing something else or if he's taking away. So you'll know if he's bringing something additional or taking something away. Okay, if it's positive, then he's bringing something additional. If it's negative or subtraction, then he's taking away. Then your second number is going to tell you what he's bringing or what he's taking away. So again, if this guy's positive, the second number back here, then the mail carrier is either bringing or taking away a check. If this number back here is negative, then it refers to a bill. So when you're looking at these mail time stories, I just want you to keep in mind that you're looking at three separate parts. And if you can keep the parts separated in your mind and what they refer to, then it's going to be easier to go through and write the story. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. It says, describe a mail time situation that illustrates negative 27 plus 48. Okay, so again, here's our three parts. Here's part 1, part 2, part 3. The first number is going to tell me what he brings. So in this case, since 27 is negative, he's bringing a bill. So you'll say, the mail carrier brings a bill for, in this case, $27. Okay, so there's your first number. Then your addition sign means that he's bringing something else. So we'll just put and to keep it, to make sense in our English language. And he's bringing a positive 48. If 48 is positive, it's talking about a check. So he's bringing a bill for 27 and a check for $48. Okay, now there will be times where they'll ask you, are you richer or poorer? So if you look at this, if he brings you a bill for 27 and a check for 48, the check outweighs the bill. So in this case, you would be richer by $21. Okay, let's look at another one. Describe a mail time situation that illustrates negative 27 minus 48. Now notice, the only thing that I changed here was the middle sign. Okay, so you're going to start exactly the same. The mail carrier brings a bill for $27. And, okay, now that my sign's minus in the middle, he's taking away. So he takes away. Now, what is he taking away? The second number tells you what he's taking away. The 48 is still positive. So we've already taken care of the minus with my takeaway. He's taking away a check for $48. Okay, now think about that for just a minute. If he brings you a bill, you're going to be poorer for $27, and he takes away a check, you're going to be even poorer than that. So if it asks you if you're richer or poorer, in this case, we're poorer by $75. Now, if you're working with My Math Lab, it's going to ask you if you're richer or poorer. If you're poorer, or when it asks you that, you don't put a negative 75. You'll just put poorer by 75. Okay, so be sure that you don't include that negative or it'll count it wrong. Okay, let's look at two more situations. We're still using the same number. I'm just changing the signs up so that you can see the difference. Okay, so describe a meal time situation that illustrates 27 plus a negative 48. So again, we've got three numbers here that we're looking at, 27 plus and the 48. I guess not numbers, but three parts. The 27 is positive, so in this case, he's bringing you a check. So the mail carrier brings a check for $27. Now, remember, if my sign in the middle is plus, he's bringing something else. The second number tells me what he's bringing. So he's bringing a check for $27, and he's bringing since 48's negative, a bill for $48. So, and a bill for $48. Okay, in this case, if he's bringing you a check and a bill, the bill outweighs the check, so you would be poorer by $21. Okay, one last possibility that you could have, and this is where it gets kind of confusing, so you've got to really pay attention to what you're doing. Again, break it up into your three parts. We've got 27, we have a minus, and then we have a negative 48. So he's going to be bringing me a check for 27. So brings a check. This is a great way that you can illustrate integers, addition and subtraction in your classroom. You might not want to use super big numbers depending on what grade you're teaching, but you can have a lot of fun with, letting the kids bring bills and checks. You can teach them a lot. So the mail carrier brings a check for $27. The minus sign tells me he's taking away. So and takes away. What's he taking away? He's taking away a negative number, and the negative number illustrates a bill. So he takes away a bill, which we all wish would happen, for $48. So if he brings you a check and takes away a bill, then you've got more money. Okay, so in this case, you're going to be richer by $75.